Hello and welcome to Steve's Vintage Model Builds. I'm Steve and thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it. The green mat's out, so we know what that means. It's a kit review coming up. So I'm going to do a kit review today, and then later next week, the week of February 19th, probably on Thursday, maybe Tuesday, going to do a show and tell and of the kits I've recently completed. And the star of the show will be the 1940 Ford Coupe that I'm dedicating to the build to Terry Sr. Hey Terry, hope you're doing all right. We don't hear much from you, but hoping everything's okay. We know it's a tough go for you, but we're thinking about you every day. Okay, buddy. So, so we've got a kit unboxing today. Just arrived today, as a matter of fact. And it arrived like this, which I'm glad there's plastic wrap on it, because otherwise I'd have been some kind of upset. But anyways, it is what it is. They couldn't have put it in an envelope, but whatever. I've been a building, and that's why I've got some kits to show off. And also why I'm getting some new ones, because under orders from the High Command, whom I always obey, no new kits till I build one that I've got, so which is fair enough. But I was very busy this week, did quite a few things. Let's see, I've got the Tamiya 135 Pack 36 gun. That's coming along nicely. That'll be ready for final assembly and painting over the next day or two. And I started the ICM Studebaker that Peter Oxley sent me. So those two are in the works. Okay, so here's what we got today. This is an oldie but a goodie, I tell you. And I got it because I got some glossy purple airbrush paint that I have to use. That's my story, I'm sticking to it. And anyway, so this looked like a lot of fun. I think this is from like, I don't know, 1965, something like that. I didn't really check it on ScaleMates. Did a bit of research. There were kind of mixed reviews on it. Some people really liked it. Other people didn't think it was very good. So I guess we'll see. Had a good time with the 1940 Ford Coupe. And yeah, a little bit of a break from the military stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so it's a monogram kit, now marketed as Revell-Mongram. And it's catalog number 850880. You see here, age 12 and up, level 4, we'll get into that in a minute. And the scale is 124. One plastic kit, 1955 Ford F-100 street rod. And on the side here, they give you the paints you're going to need. They give you the Revell paint codes, but they also give you the names: aluminum, gray silk matte, fiery red gloss, blue gloss. They don't mention purple here, but that's the color it's going to be. And they measure the length just under 8 inches, 96 parts, molded in white with water-soluble decals. And a little note here, mid-1950s Ford F-Series pickup has attained classic status, at least as far as street routers are concerned. Little did the original designers and engineers know, as they were putting their pickup truck line together, that one day those little workhorses would be customized and painted in every creative way imaginable. And yeah, a lot can be done with them. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, the Ford F-Series. you know, for those who are watching, don't know much about the vehicles, I had fun researching it. And the first generation F series were F1 to F8, based on size. So the F1 was the lightest, and the F8 was the heaviest. 7 and 8 were listed as heavy duty trucks. Some were made, I think for the F4s and F5s, they were used as school buses. You know, they had no truck bed on the back. They just plunked the school bus thing on the back. And so yeah, so it looks like a lot of fun. You know, we got the decals going here. And so the second generation was when they started using the three numerals, F-100 up to F-350 at that time. Excuse me. And that line was launched in 1952. Up until then, Ford had pretty much been manufacturing the same 1941 Ford model. And then they went with the first generation, which I think was 1948 to 52 or 47 to 52. And then the second generation with the three numeral designation. And so the cab was redesigned. There were quite a few innovative features, including you could get an automatic transmission if you wanted. I don't know why any respectable pickup truck owner would want to have an automatic transmission, but they did offer it. And they pretty much standardized the truck bed, 20 inches deep. And although the width and the length has changed, they used the 20-inch deep truck bed up until 1980. Originally was the Ford V8 flathead, and then in '54 they came out with the Y V8, and in '56 they offered the option of seatbelts, which they started doing with all Ford vehicles, which kind of debunks the idea that the the auto companies were reluctant to introduce safety measures and so forth. So in 1955, the double bar grille with the V returned, and tubeless tires were introduced as an option, and custom cab was introduced, grouping multiple upgraded interior options into a single option package. The bench seat was movable. That was one of the things. In Canada, it was sold both as the F-100 and the Mercury M series. And 1954-55, it was a 239 overhead valve Y block, dubbed the Power King. For the six-cylinder version, that was also increased from 215 to 223, and power steering was introduced as an option. Okay, so let's get into the box here. Taped? No. Sealed in cellophane. Nice deep box. No damage to the top. Little crease in the bottom. It doesn't look like anybody kicked it like a football. Okay, so let's see what we get here. Take the stuff out. Excuse me. Like I said, I had fun with the 40 Ford Coupe, and I've also got the Mack truck to look out for, 1920 Mack AC. So yeah, like I said, a little break, a little difference from the military stuff. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. The cab and front end is in a single separate bag. Very little flash. Some detail. They weren't elaborate vehicles. But anyways, yeah, everything looks fine. There's no blemishes, no scuffs, nasty cuts or flaws. So that's good. We get 4 tires. And oddly enough, one looks thicker than the other 3. Oh no, there's 2 thicker for the rear and two skinnier ones. And they're made of vinyl, so they look fine. I think they're branded Michelin. Not sure. And then we've got clear parts. Let's see what we've got. Windshields. There's a little piece here that goes over the gauges. We'll talk about the gauges too. And headlamps. Okay, I'll open this up. Okay, so here we've got the truck bed. That's all one piece. And so this should be fairly easy to put together. The fenders, everything looks great. I'm not seeing any flash at all. Well, I mean, there's some here on the edge of the sprue, but nothing on the parts. Maybe a tiny little bit. You always have to trim off a bit anyways, or you should. And then we've got the dashboard, steering wheel, fan belt, muffler catalytic converter. And we've got a second bag here. It's got another 3. Another 3 sprue racks here. Not seeing any parts off the sprues. Here we've got the hood, wheels, exhaust, or wheel hubs. Engine parts. More engine parts, the bench seat, the radiator, nicely detailed. You know, the motor looks okay. And then here we've got the chassis, and I don't know whether these are doors or what, but anyways, yeah. Okay. So a goodly number of parts here. Everything looks very functional. And then of course we've got the chrome. And so yeah, we've got the bumpers, we've got the wheels, we've got engine parts, manifolds, oil pan, steering wheel, side mirrors. Excuse me. Okay, so nothing looked to be warped or broken there. So yeah, packaging, it's going to get a 2 on the rating. And the sprues were good. Actually, for the age of the kit, going to give it an extra quarter bonus because literally there was really no flash to speak of. Okay, and you get a little note here, and oh, this is the newest box. I think the new parts were from 1971, and I think it was originally from 1965. And the notes read here, mid-50s series of Ford pickups has attained classic status. Your monogram model features an updated interior with contemporary styling and textures, a detailed 5-liter V8 engine complete with fuel injection, and decals with colorful custom flame graphics. Colorful custom frame classic. Okay, so we'll put this out of the way. Okay, so we open up. This is a new style Revell instructions, and they've got the paint guide here. It's all Revell colors. Can't blame them for that. How to apply the decals, glossary for the instructions, glue, don't glue, cut, optional, be careful, whatever the case may be. Oh, here's the decals. I'll get to those in a minute. And then we get a full parts list. Revell doesn't, they don't give you a sprue map, but they give you a parts list. Unlike ICM, I will, but I'll wait to talk about that when I talk about ICM. Okay, and so yeah, it shows, they said 96 parts, but they list 113 parts here, plus the tires. So, I don't know, there might be more than one option for certain things. Okay, yeah, so, and then we start off, very basic. Start off with the engine assembly. Looks like it's got some nice detail by the time it's all done. Then it drops into the chassis. Pretty standard stuff. Okay, and then we've got the exhaust. This is the chrome. The star means it's chrome. So this goes down to the end, and then the chrome part, so it's not all chrome. Just the tailpipe. And then we've got the transmission and the front part of the drivetrain. And then we've got the front and rear assemblies. And then we've got the bench seat, gauges, pedals, steering column and steering wheel. Somebody mentioned that they say to put the windshield right up against the dashboard but it turns out that that's not what you do. It actually slides in behind. So anyways, we'll figure that out when we do the build. And the other thing that was brought up was the shape here of the gauge panel. We'll see in the decals. These are curved at the top, but they've got the decals upside down. So if you put them in, if you put them in the way they fit, then they're upside down. They look like a nice decal. Well, here you go. So you see, if you put them in like this, it's going to be upside down. So you have to turn them upside down. Or wait, no, maybe they fixed it. Hang on. Alright, so it looks like they have corrected that. So that's very nice. There we go. And then there's a clear part that goes on top of there. Then we got the dash going in, and the rear window. Oh, okay, so these pieces are, yeah, they're for the interior of the doors. So that's a nice touch. And then we got some of the other pieces here for the front end. How to put in the clear parts, the radiator, that goes in there, and then the drivetrain goes into the bottom underside of the body. Then the side panels and the rear panel go on, and then the rear fenders. Assemble the tires. Tires go on. Cab goes on to the chassis. And just the final little accessories and doodads. This has the option. You can they've designed it so you can open and close the hood or the bonnet. And then they've got this is just a decal guide. It's not the paint guide. I guess they figure you're going to paint it whatever color you want to paint it. The license plates, those aren't decals. You cut those out and you put them on with PVA glue or whatever's going to work. But it shows you how to do the flames here, which ones go where. That'll be tricky, but it'll look pretty awesome when it's done, I think. So yeah, there you go, 12 steps. And it seems this is the most up-to-date of all the kits out there. And oh yeah, let me see. Yeah, these decals are 2021, so obviously they corrected that. So good for them. Yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun. And alright, so ratings time. And as always, I'll put a card up and hope it comes up. I did a short video on the criteria I use for rating a kit. Basically, it's a 12-point system, 10 standard points, quarter point, 4 categories. 2 points for packaging, 2 points for sprues, 3 points for parts, and 3 points for instructions. Each category can be awarded a quarter-point bonus for any wow factor, and also up to 1 bonus point for value. And I consider value to be not just the cost of the kit, but how many hours of enjoyment and entertainment I can get out of it. Excuse me. Okay, so like I said at the beginning, yeah, 2 points for packaging. Everything was fine there. 2 points for the sprues. They were complete. There didn't look to be any nasty bubbles, holes, or ejection pin marks where they shouldn't be. So that's 2 points, and an extra quarter-point bonus for all intents and purposes, no flash whatsoever. Parts, quality of the plastic looked good. Basic white plastic. Didn't look too soft. The detail of the parts wasn't super detailed, but it's not a vehicle that has a lot of extra details. So that's just fine. And of course, you get the chrome parts and the vinyl tires. And if I didn't mention it before, the kit was about $41, but I got it for free with points. So yeah, $40 kit. It just seems to be about what the car and truck models are. Of course, this is 1/24 scale, so it's a larger model. But yeah, looking around, they're $40, $60, $75. But for an old one like this, I think $40 is fair. And even though I didn't pay cash for it, I'm going to give it a half point bonus. Those decals look real nice, and I think it's going to build up really nicely too. It'll take some time, but it'll be fun. So that brings us to a total of 10.5 points out of 12, which is very respectable, and especially considering it's such a vintage kit, tooling from way back when. They're still doing all right with it. So okay, so that's it for today. As I said, later this week I'm going to come out with the update video, and what and I'm up to 364 subscribers. So thank you all very much. I appreciate everyone who stops by the channel, spends time, and hope you find it interesting and informative and have fun. That's the main thing. And excuse me. I'm also going to start doing once a month. I'm going to start listing off the new subscribers from the previous month. And so thanks again to everyone. I'll just show off on here. I don't know if I showed it well enough the first time. Very nice detail on the engine. And as I said, they've designed it so you can up and down. Alright then, so thanks again to everyone, and we're heading into about 30 minutes. So hope you've enjoyed this little review, and we'll keep you up to date on all the builds. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for liking, and hope you look forward to the next video. Thanks again.